Hey there, my friends. Today we're going to talk about the rejection slump and how it's impacting your overall success. Welcome back to another episode of the Logistics Life. And today I want to talk to you about something that has been coming up more and more lately with my conversations. And I thought it was time that we kind of bring it to the surface. So you probably in the same boat. A lot of people are. What I'm starting to refer to as a rejection slump. So what does that mean? That means number one is we're getting, as sales reps, we're getting way more rejection now than we've ever got, especially for those reps that kind of came into the industry just pre-pandemic or during the pandemic. The rejection rates were so low, everything was golden. Now it's all of a sudden, as a salesperson, you maybe haven't had the right training. Maybe you haven't, really studied or started to master or perfect your craft as a salesperson. Maybe you don't understand the value you bring to the market, and the rejection rate is skyrocketing to the point where I'm having a lot of conversations with sales reps that are actually getting depressed about the industry. Now, here's something I got to say, because I think we all go through a lot of the same emotions, right? And again, when we look at our emotions, when we look at how we perceive things, how our brain computes things, I go back to the G.I. Joe saying, where knowing is half the battle. If you know you're going to have challenges, you can prepare to address them in a higher caliber way. So what I mean by that is, understanding the next little bit, maybe a year, maybe 6 months, maybe 8 months is going to be difficult. But where do you want to be in the next year? I see a lot of posts. I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of I do analytics. I do a lot of in the background looking at feeds and threads on different communities and different chat sites. And I see an overall concern that the amount of work we need to put in is increasing. But here's my question. Here's the one thing that, I guess for lack of a better term, I'm struggling with is anything we want in life is a difficult thing to get, right? Anything big in life. If we want to play small, we have to work small. If we want to play big, we have to work big, right? Like we look at companies that are billion-dollar companies. We look at companies that are $200, $300, $400 million companies, and we want to be there, right? Like as a salesperson, you see the top salesperson in your company, and I hope that you want to surpass them. But the thing is, I don't know if you've realized how much work is involved with surpassing them, how much work they put in to get where they are, right? And this to me is probably the number one thing that we as sales reps, or whatever you're doing, if you're trying to build a company, if you're just starting a brokerage, like I have a buddy of mine just started a brokerage. He's like, Dan, like, holy crap. I'm like, yeah. It seems easy when other people are doing it. Maybe when you're a manager, when you're a salesperson, you're like, this is easy. But when you jump into that seat, it's a totally different world, right? So many different things are, now you must master in order to make it work. And here's the bigger piece of that puzzle. And the bigger piece of that puzzle is, are you going to do the work to make it happen? All right? Are you going to go all in? And I believe most people say they want to, but their actions say something different. I could tell you full transparency. I sit here some days and all I want to do is go take a nap. All I want to do is just disconnect because like my brain's on overload. And what do? I walk over to my pull-up bar and I just do pull-ups until I can't do anymore. Or I'll go for a walk, or I'll get up and I'll walk around for 3 minutes, or I'll do some ab rolls, or I'll do, some calisthenics, or I'll do something to shift that focus. Because I believe anyone out there who says, oh, no, I don't get it, I think you'll lie about anything. And you know what? You don't see that everywhere on social, right? You don't see any of that. You don't see the issues because people are so afraid to bring them to the surface. But I often say, why? Why are we afraid? Sales is a bloody tough game right now. We are in rejection slumps. People are getting rejected more and more and more. What does that do to your own motivation? What does that do to your own perseverance? What does that do to your attitude? It destroys it because we thrive on that dopamine drip of getting the account. We thrive on that dopamine drip of things escalating, right? Things moving in the direction we want to move. When we want to move forward and we're being pushed backwards, it's frustrating, it's aggravating, and it destroys our self-confidence. That's the reality of it. But the second you let it destroy your self-image is where you totally get lost. So for all of you that might be suffering with a rejection slump, for all of you that might be challenged with coming in daily and really like really getting to the meat and potatoes and grinding it out and making things happen, I get you. I think we're all there in some way, shape, or form, right? I think some of us go to, finish work on a Friday and they're like, man, I screwed the pooch this week, but Monday I'm coming back at it. And by Tuesday, it's like that rejection slump is back. So here's a couple of things that I do personally to help me avoid the rejection slump. Now, I'm not saying I never get into it because I do. I mean, I'm here, I'm building a logistics business, I'm building a software business, I'm helping suppliers, I'm doing a bunch of different things. I feel pulled in a million different directions. I've got a family, I'm trying to keep it's a million different things happening, okay? And sometimes I come out here and I'm like, hey, everybody, hey, let's do this. And everybody sees that side, but there's another side that is very challenging and another side that keeps you up at night. And that's the side of, for me anyways, of wanting to get more done. So for me, what I'm looking at right now is I'm looking at tools, strategies, processes, frameworks that's going to help me double, triple, quadruple my output. Because I figure if I reach 100 people a day and I get rejected 80 times, right? 90 times, if I can reach 500 people, I get rejected more, but I also have more opportunities. So I look at tools to do that. I look at strategies. I look at training. I look at a video that inspires me and I watch it over and over and over and over and over and over again. I look at things that change my mindset. So like I just said a couple of minutes ago, I feel one of those issues coming on, one of those restraints, that process where it's like, no, it's not working. It's not working. I'll go over and I'll do chin-ups, right? Like something so simple just to take your mind off it, because you have to, like, for chin-ups to be done properly, you have to focus on, how your shoulder blades sit and how you pull. It's not just, arbitrarily doing it. So it shifts that mindset, right? Maybe it's a podcast, maybe it's a good book. And so for me, those are key elements that I sprinkle throughout my day in order to make my day better. And the last piece is I work so hard on this, is how can I make what I do fun? How can I make it entertaining? Right? So I'll do things like when I DM people, I'll put one capital letter in their name and I'll say, just so you know, it's not AI. And then the answers I get back put a smile on my face. Right? And the last thing that I do, and I know you guys might think this is Dan, like you're like, Dan, that's so crazy, because sometimes I sit there and giggle at myself. But anytime I write an email, anytime I write a pitch deck, anytime I write a presentation, anytime I write a web class, anytime I write a master class, anytime I do a web page, anytime I do a funnel, anything I do where that correspondence would meet you, I smile while I'm doing it. And some of you might say, Dan, you what? But I smile while I'm doing it because I believe when we're smiling, we can't get frustrated. And so for me, that piece has probably been the biggest piece, is it helped me enjoy it. So when I sit down and I look at my today's to-dos in Bridger and I go, okay, I've got 120 follow-ups today. I don't go, oh, I got 120 follow-ups, and then I got this appointment, and I pull out my agenda, and I'm like, and I got this appointment, oh, how am I going to do that? I'm like, all right, I got 120 follow-ups. And I know some of you might be like, Dan, that is so stupid, but it works. Like, it really works. It's that enjoy factor. I'm like, sweet, I get 120 opportunities to connect with somebody today. Oh, I'm going to get 50 people that connected. How can I write an email Or how can I send a DM where 50 of these people are going to get back to me? And maybe sometimes I don't hit it. But I'll tell you one thing, in my open rates, from the time I started doing this, I was like a 15 to 20%. I'm now up over 70% open rates, and I've got over a 65% click-through rate, meaning when I say to a prospect, here's a page I made for you, here's a video I made for you, they click through. When I do the videos, I smile. When I do the emails, I smile. When I'm giving a demo, I smile. When I'm doing a phone call, I smile. And I'm just trying to smile more because I think it's so easy for us to get into this major like rejection trap, which puts us into a mindset trap of scarcity, a mindset trap of saying, oh, they're just going to say no. So why bother sending that email? It's a little risque. I don't know if I'm going to send that email. I mean, I'm doing a campaign right now where I literally say, you got three options. You can tell me, yes, I'm interested. You can say no, or I can send you a picture of my puppies. And I'm like, nobody's ever said I want a picture of the puppies, but the next email I send a picture of the puppies anyways, just because I don't know. I think it's funny, but it's like, okay, somebody might be going, but Dan, that is so unprofessional, and maybe you're right. But it's just like everything else I believe in, that the person I want to attract is the person that would say, I like that. That's super cool. So if the person says that is not professional, I'm not interested, I'm like, perfect, because I'm not interested in working with you. And I know some of you might be like, well, that's pretty harsh, Dan. Ooh, you must be well so doing so well that you can do this in this market. No. But I do know if I just start taking business to take business in this market, in 6 months from now, I'm going to hate my career. I'm going to hate what I'm doing. So why not mold that now? Why not prepare that now? Why not just go out to people and say, hey, do you like this? Because if you do, I think we get along. If you don't, then I'm not interested. Like just, and I mean, maybe that's a little too straightforward, but you get what I'm saying, my friends. It's one of these things where we're going to go through this. The question is not when or for how long. The question is, what are you going to do to make the best out of the situation we're in right now, to future proof your sales, to future proof your business, to future proof your life? And I don't think enough people are really paying attention to that these days. That's my message for today, my friends. I will keep it short. Hopefully, it's under 15 minutes here. I'm trying to keep these podcasts that are just me under 15 minutes, mainly because of my voice. But also, we release these during the day. So if it's not a data day, or if it's not an interview with somebody that's bringing a real, like, different idea and strategy where we got to mold and kind of reassess and how does it fit into logistics and so on and so forth, I'm going to try and keep them short for you, my friends. So those are my processes that I deal with the rejection slump that most people are facing right now. Yeah, that's it. There we go. See that? I was going to say something else. I said, nah, we're going to end it there. Take care, my friends. We'll see you tomorrow.